Alright, in this video I'm going to be sharing all of my settings that I use, star cards for all my heroes, and I'm going to even go into like a little bit of all the mods I have. I'll talk more about all my mods when we get there. Um, but yeah, a lot of people have been asking like what settings I use and whatnot, so I'm just going to go through it all. Start with controls. I use just normal controls. I don't really mess with this all that much. Setting or the sensitivity, I keep all my sensitivity at just 50. I don't use vehicles or starfighters, so 50 for me is fine. I know, like, especially for dueling, zoom sensitivity is really good for having it being like really high. But for me, it's like I still perform really well. Well, oh my goodness. Gotta learn to speak. I still perform like pretty fine just with regular sensitivity. I never really had like an issue with like turning around quickly or whatnot. But this is definitely more for, for certain people who do want the higher sensitivity, but for me I just don't really. And I don't even play controller, so. For video, I do use colorblind, mainly just because I like the colors more than the it's specifically the blue for the gold. I just like the blue more. I don't know. I have my brightness at 100. Uh, Everything's pretty much max. My field of view is either it's in the 70 or to like 85, I'd say. Anywhere from here. And the reason why I don't have an exact like number is because, well, these to me are kind of similar. They don't really have a big difference to me. I don't really notice it that much. Even like 90 is okay, but 100 is weird. I use 0 motion blur because it's it, it's really kind of irrelevant in the game, I think. All these are like, okay, especially like resolution and graphics. These are definitely, if you have, a system that's maybe like a little weaker, obviously you can't probably use these. So that's definitely all these stuff right here, kind of more optional. For gameplay, obviously third person. All these are kind of just generic. I don't know. This is obviously on. When I do thumbnails, I usually like pose with a character or whatever. I always turn the HUD off, and then that's why my FOV was all the way down. So that's the reason for that. Crosshair is green, but it's white with the colorblind. Just all my settings. One thing that I do have on is hints. Or the tutorial. I don't know why I have it on, but I'm gonna leave it on. I don't know. Audio, 50 is fine for me. I keep the music on, but I kind of have it a little quiet. Yeah, that's all that. So, subtitles for the campaign, but I just don't play the campaign. So I'd say that's all my settings. Pretty generic. I wouldn't say I know any like crazy tips or whatever. I'm gonna go into star cards for all of the heroes. Definitely have a lot to say. There is some I don't have all the cards for. Well, that's not a lie. All the heroes I have cards for except BB-8 and BB-98. I'm not gonna talk about them. I don't have all the cards for Leia or Yoda actually. Shit. Well, I don't play him anyways, so sorry if you were looking for tips on those heroes. I'll start with Boba. I'm a Boba main. So Boba, I'd say, has a lot of good cards. quick refill and fuel efficiency, kind of like they're really good to use together, but I'd rather usually just have one of these, because this one is when you're not using it, it refills quicker, and then when you have this one, it burns slower when you're using it. So it's really like you could really just use one of these. Born to Fly is, in my opinion, a must. It's really good. The health regen isn't really that big of a deal, just being 1.5 seconds. Extended exposure is also like pretty decent. Um, don't use it really that often, but it's definitely not a bad card. This one I don't really use. It's okay. I mean, it's definitely good if like the whole team is a blaster. I guess this could be useful. This one is a fun one to use, just because, you know, if you want to have your jetpack like longer, you would use this one. But I would still say it's still kind of useless. But I mean, it's okay. Intense Barrage. I really don't like this one. It's like 500 damage. It's doable, but like you would have to use this card too. Which, me personally, Rocket Barrage is already super powerful. I don't really want two cards, especially with like I'd rather have jetpack cards. So I don't really use this one. This one's okay, but again, Rocket Barrage is like a 3-second ability to use, and also you're gonna be in the air. When you use Rocket Barrage, you shouldn't ever use Rocket Barrage when you're on the ground, because I think, I don't know if this is for sure, but in my experience, whenever I'm on the ground and I'm using Rocket Barrage, it's like there's a delay to using your jetpack, so you're kind of just stuck there. So I mean, this one's okay, and then this one is also a must for me. This Focalize is really good, just because it's, you know, it's just easy bonus damage for each rocket, so it's pretty good. Usually I use either these two. I usually use this one, and then More to Fly, and then Focalize for HVB. And then even like Trooper modes, I'd use this one. Boba definitely has a lot of like options though. Here's definitely some of the best cards. Except I'd really say like these three are probably like eh. This one's fun though. So that's Boba. Great hero. For Bossk, or my Django mod, regenerative electricity. I don't even think that's what the card is called. Oh, I probably should turn my mods off, and that's okay. His first card, I don't really use it. I think because me personally, whenever I use his smoke, I always just throw it away from me. I don't really stick around it, so I mean, it is good to plant on top of you with your bombs. That's not bad, but at the same time, you pretty much be acting like a Phasma, and you probably wouldn't really pull anybody towards you unless you had like a Kylo on your team, or a Vader. So that's okay. This one's really good in HV, especially if you have a lightsaber hero on you, or any type of hero really. You want to just get them off you. So I usually rock this one. This one's also really good. This one paired with this one, they're really good. This is good for trooper modes. I would not use this in HV because it's kind of useless. I don't know if you could hear those, but there's coyotes outside. I don't know if you could hear it. Hold on. Maybe that fixed it. I closed the window. This is also a must in trooper modes. Not in HV. But trooper modes, this is definitely a must, I think. This one's okay in HVV and trooper mode. This is a okay card, especially since usually when you have your middle ability, you're kind of like jumping around, kind of being a little vulnerable. So that one's okay. I used to use this one in trooper modes. I don't really anymore. But it's still a good card to use like early on, I think. Hold on. Oh yeah, okay. It's okay. This card is really good. This card is also really good. I'd use probably this one more in HVV than or in trooper modes than this one, but and then again, this one's really good. So if I'm doing HVV, I'd probably rock this one, and probably this one for HVV. But you could also like substitute this one for this one. So yeah, and then for troopers, I'd probably use these ones actually for troopers, or substitute this one for this one. So that's, I mean, Bossk is pretty good. He's definitely kind of hard to get good with. But he's not bad. Yeah. Chewbacca. Alright, Chewbacca. I'm just gonna go through the cards again back to Bossk. I think all of Bossk's cards are really good. So, he's definitely one of the best kitted heroes. Chewie, not so much. The bonus health is always like good. I usually rack this one in both Trooper and Hero. With this one, I always leave on 150 health. His health is up there with Vader and Anakin, so yeah. Echoing Roar. This is a must in Troopers. HVV not so much, but in Troopers this is like, because his Furious Bowcaster is, I think, one of the best abilities in the game. It's so good. You definitely want to keep it for as long as you can. Impervious is also good in Trooper modes. I would not use it in HVV. I think it's useless in HVV. Slammed is good in HVV. Trooper, it's okay. I don't really use it in Trooper. I'd rather use Impervious. And then Furious Resilience is also good, because again, Furious Bowcaster, you want to use that pretty much all the time, because his regular Bowcaster it's so annoying to use. I hate it. I'm just shit with it in general, but I mean, it's good. It goes through blocks, of course, but Furious Bowcaster can as well, and it shoots faster, so this is also really good. So if I'm doing HV, I'd probably do these, and then I'd swap this one out for this one in treatments. So with the bad cards, I don't really use Extended Shock. This one's good too, in HV, I'd say. But it's like, I don't know, I've always just thought these cards right here, or sorry, these cards right here have just served me so well. I don't really need anything else. The shock is like, the shock already is a pretty decent amount of time to get 2 shots in, or 2 saber swings in. So I don't know. This one's okay, but Charge Slam, I like pretty much use it immediately. I only use Charge Slam if we're in HVV. If someone's like right on me and they're like kind of weak or something. Trooper modes, I could understand using this, especially as like a good, like, you could use this as like an escape, maybe. Yeah. Multi-shock. This one's again just okay, I think. If we're talking like competitive HVV, I would say multi-shock is good. Maybe with extended shock too. But yeah. And then shocked and vulnerable. This one's pretty good. I don't know why you don't use this one. But again, it's like you would have to use this one with another shock card, because it's like great that they're more vulnerable, but if you don't have any of these cards on or this card that makes it longer, it's really like, what's the point? I mean, I actually don't really think these cards are bad. I just don't use them myself. But they are pretty good cards together. And then this one's okay too. I wouldn't use this one. I'd use these two plus this one or this one. I don't know. I think I am gonna use these cards more, just to experiment. But I'd say these 5 cards are the ones I really use. So Vader. I think Vader also has definitely, like, I think all of his cards are really good too. So Furious Resilience. Honestly, this is a must, and like all the time I'm using this one. It's just good. I don't know. Bonus out. This is good. I only use this in HVV, but it's good. There is no escape. This is good because Vader can block in his lightsaber throw, and this one could even be good with intensified lightsaber throw. But me personally, I don't really go for the long lightsaber throws. The regular throw itself is fine. So, I mean, these cards are like okay, but they're not bad. Punching grip, this is also a must. The increased time of a choke, it's so good. It's like in HV, it's really good. Obviously, to get so much damage in, you can knock off like 400, 500 damage if pulled off correctly with your saber throw. In trooper modes, it's also really good because you could. I don't think you can full choke a heavy, but you can full choke every other infantry, especially. And it's not really about full killing them. It's just about doing so much damage. Where if you have a lot of enemies in your choke, you could just go in there and saber throw it, hit them, and then saber throw it. It's just so good. Shrouded by Fear. I use this one in Troopers. I swapped this one out with this one in Troopers because Vader's really good at killing. He's the best hero in the game, so getting stamina back is like really good. His stamina is already good, anyways. Deflection stamina. This one's good, but I think this is the better one. Last Grasp. This one's okay in trooper modes. This one would be pretty good in trooper modes. HVV, I would also say this is pretty good, but I prefer just the regular one. I mean, you would never use this in like ones, so maybe in HVV you could make an excuse for using this one instead because you could get more people in a choke, or you could just use both of these right here. I mean, this is a pretty nasty combo. So, and then Fueling the Rage. I honestly think this is his weakest. I honestly think the bonus damage is actually really nice. So I think this is definitely his weakest card, but it's again not that bad. But I am learning about new like card choices. I think I am gonna use this choke combo. It's a 50% bonus damage. That's kind of nice. Would never use it in ones, but H3V. I don't know. So that's a pretty good one. But these 4 right here are like my main ones. Emperor Palpatine. Just recently kind of like leveled him up. I'm not really going to talk much about them because I don't really play them. But lightning reach is good. Increased range is just good to have in general. Show no mercy. This was good in trooper modes. I don't really use it in HEV that much. Growing darkness. This is good. This is a pretty decent card too. Surge of lightning. This is a must in trooper modes. And then in full control. This one's okay. Honestly, because of how fast stamina or his Palpatine's stamina recharges, I don't really ever use this. I don't really know why I have it maxed out, but yeah. I would say these four are like the cards I usually use. This one's not bad either. Maybe in co-op you would use this one, but not anywhere else. Han Solo. So Han has a pretty good like arsenal of cards. Broad shoulders. I did use this one originally in like trooper modes. I mean, this card is really good with his like shoulder charge glitch that he could do, where he could go forever. It's okay there, but yeah. I just don't use sharpshooter ever. All the sharpshooter cards I just think are useless because honestly the ability is kind of mid. It's good for like getting rid of a Phasma or a Bossk even, but you would never use it on a hero or a lightsaber hero. Keep your head cool. This is a must in troopers. This is a must in troopers. How easy it is to get headshots and how it's really like a. His blaster's the best in the game. Getting kills is no problem at all. This card just makes it so you just get more easy kills. It's really good. There's a better of this card. I think this one is Airburst is way better. I think because usually when I use Detonite, it's always in the air. Even in trooper modes, it's just always I never let it sit. So this card's kind of yeah. All in. This one's not bad, but I think because of the glitch you could do with Han, it kind of just makes up for it, in my opinion. So I don't really use his shoulder cards anymore because yeah, it's alright. Smuggler's Wits. This is a must in HEV. The third roll is so good for fighting like a Vader or a Grievous because you could just roll around them. You know, stalling time to get your shoulder charge back or your detonite back, getting a few shots on behind them, whatever. It's so good. Heavily modified blaster. This is good in both modes. I use this one because you just get more shots off. It's good. And then again, sharpshooter. I just use it. I literally never use sharpshooter except for like if I'm desperate, I'm cornered, and there's a Phasma shooting me. But even then, it'd just be better to just use the regular firing mode because it's so good. Phasma and DL44. With the DL44, you could probably like 6-7 tap her in the head, maybe, with her survivor on. I don't know. I do not use Iden one bit. I mean, sturdy shield is good if you like running away. Alternative methods. This is a must. Like all the time. Shock rates. This is really good in like both modes. And then acquiring targets. This is also really good. I don't know. I just don't use Iden. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say about her. Kylo Ren or my Shin Hati mod. First card, Resilience. This is good in HEV. I wouldn't use it anywhere else just because, you know, you need to be with another villain. So it obviously with HEV it'd be pretty good. I still don't really use an HEV, but it makes sense. I wouldn't blame you for using it. Closing in. This one's good too, but I usually, when I use Frenzy, I'm pretty close. I mean, I don't really use Frenzy that much because I still have to really get better with it. I'm really bad with Kylo. uh, I don't really use him that much, so. But this one's not a bad card. Bloodlust. This is, again, good. Because when I do use Frenzy, you know, the extra damage is good. I'm still learning how to do the fourth hit. You can even hit 6. I know there's a trick to get 6, but God knows I'm trying to fucking learn that. So. Harsh Pull, I honestly... this card's okay. It's like, the thing about Kylo's Pull, it does so little damage. Even with this card on, it just doesn't do that much damage. Compared to, like, every other, like, Force Push or Force Pull, like Anakin's Pull. It's just so mid. Power Reach, I would say this is a must. Same with her Saber Strikes, straining less damage, Berserkering Tantrum. These 3 cards I really just don't switch out. It's just Kylo in general, man. Such a kind of weird hero to use. Lando definitely has some bad cards, but definitely has some good cards. Disabler Lifetime. This one's okay, but usually when I use the shock, I use it immediately. So I don't really would see why you would need to use this. Hot and Cold, I use this one just because Lando is a really easy target, especially because of how weak he is. So getting extra health to let you live a little longer for teams to help you, or whatever it is good. So I usually always use this one. Welcome to Cloud City. I just don't use the smoke in general. It's so useless. It doesn't even like hide you like BB-9Es does. BB-9Es is actually like pretty good because it actually hides him because he's small. You know, Lando's doesn't do that. Like maybe if like there was a card or if there was an enemy in a smoke, he would have like you would be more vulnerable to damage or whatever. But it's just not that. It's literally just a smoke. It's which a Phasma could see through. And I'm done talking. I've said enough about a smoke being the most useless ability. It's shit. It's shit. Maximize efficiency. This is good in trooper modes. HUV, I don't really use it. Or honestly, I use these cards even in HUV, even though they're not really great in HUV. But I mean, it still works in HUV sometimes. Buckle up, baby. This one's okay. It's just the heat per shot. There's like every hero has like one of these cards, but this one is like especially with the heat per shot. It's not that great. I don't know. Again, smoke. Yeah, I started. This one's okay. Again, I just don't let it sit. I usually just always use it. Now this one is good. Actually, when I do use HV, I usually do this one. I just haven't played Lando in a while. This is a really good card. This is definitely his best shock card. So I'd say a must. And then his wide-eyed, again, good in trooper modes primarily, but also good in HV. So I'd say HV, I'd use these cards. Troopers, I'd use these cards. So yeah, underrated hero. Leia, again, I just don't have her cards, but for the ones that I have, these 3 are what I use. Luke Skywalker. Luke has a lot of good cards. So Epicenter is really good, again, for getting extra damage. Especially it's a block breaker. It's good for stopping regen in ones. In ones I use this. But that's kind of it. I don't really use it in troopers or HV, but in ones I'll use it. Deflection Mastery. I don't ever really deflect blasters, I only really use my lightsaber to block blasters to, you know, get out of somewhere, or to just block me from getting damage. I don't have the intention to dealing damage back, especially since it's really inaccurate. So here it's, you know, it's gonna be more accurate, but it's gonna drain more stamina. I don't know. It's like the only hero I really actually deflect is Maul and Vader. Vader, Maul and Vader have really good deflections. So that's kind of, I don't know. I don't really use this one. Intensified, this is a must. I always use this one. It's, I mean, the more damage is like good. I don't know. And Trooper modes is way better, I think. I mean, this one kind of makes lunges a little more difficult, I think. I mean, again, this is just what I think, but usually when you have a knockdown ability like a push, you would lunge and chase them, and you would get insane reach, and you would do damage to them. I would think this one gives them more time to get up. So I don't really use these where like a lot of heroes have these like the cards where like Maul's choke will like throw more far away. I don't really like those because, you know, I still like fighting them. I don't really like, unless it's like Bespin and you want a meme or something. Rush immunity, I use this one in ones as well. And 1v1s, this one's good because Yoda's Yoda, Luke's, and Maul's rush are really easy to parry. So getting a little bit damage reduction is really good. Um, Jedi reflexes, I'd rather have the damage reduction than a third one in my opinion. Because like rushes are, I would say in a 1v1, I use his rushes the most out of all of his abilities, but I don't use it where like I need a third one all the time. Like, I don't know. Jedi Fighter, this one's good. I would say this is a must in Troopers. HV, I would say this is also pretty good. Um, and then Extended Push. This is what I use in Trooper modes. I get rid of Epicenter and then I put this one on. And then Strong Repulse. This one's also not that bad. But I just think his push is a little better. If I'm doing HV, if I'm doing ones, I would probably use these 3 cards. And then if I'm doing HV, I'd probably use these cards. Same with Trooper modes. So, Luke's really good. Maul. Maul definitely has some bad cards, I'd say. Lightsaber defense, this is a must. Yeah. You should always use this one. Trooper modes, this is okay. 30 bonus damage is just not that great, in my opinion. Especially for, you know, 30 bonus damage for getting 2 enemies in a choke. But you're very vulnerable for other enemies to hit you as well. You're probably gonna, I don't know, I don't really use this choke in Troopers. I would never use this in HV2 because the 30 bonus damage is just not that good. I don't know. His choke is a good ability, but I don't use any cards to enhance it because I think it's how it is already is pretty fine. Especially since I don't really use it that much. I only use it when there's like a golden opportunity. Do not use this because unlike Vader, you can't block with Maul's saber throw. So this just makes it so you're even more vulnerable. I would say if you do want to use this card, I would use it when it's gray. I would not level this thing up at all if you want the 20 extra reach. But since mine is maxed out, I can't. It's useless. This is a must too. This is so good. This is such a good card. Especially since his lightsaber throw is like a free damage. This is pretty, especially with this card. This is just a meme card on Bespin or Kashyyyk. This is a use if you want, I guess. This one's not bad. I've used this one sometimes. But but not often. And then this card sounds good on paper, but I actually think it's pretty shit. Because for some reason hitting enemies with his rush ability is kind of hard. Because you can't hit enemies upwards if you go up a hill. Because it's like bugged. Maul's still a really bugged hero. So, accelerated throw, this is a must. 20 extra damage. It's just good. I don't know what to say. And then this one, that's okay. This one I can kind of get behind using, but Maul's one of the very few heroes where I literally never change his cards. These cards are pretty good. I think Maul is just such an underutilized hero. I don't know. Rey, or my Ahsoka mod. She has a lot of good ones. She has a lot of good ones that I don't really use. I'll get more into it. Balance, this is a must in HV and ones. I don't really use it in Troopers, but yeah, just like Han's third roll, this is a must in Hero mods. Farsight, this one's good in Troopers too, for seeing more enemies. But honestly, the vision it gives regularly is fine enough for me. This is good Street Fighter, less damage, or less stamina for melee strikes. It's just okay. What's next? Alright, Resilient Dash. Kind of like Han's Shoulder Charge, damage reduction. This one's okay. Don't use it. This is, I swapped this one out for this one in Trooper modes, because the extra damage is super good. Because you could one-shot all infantry but heavy. Strong Mind. It's okay. Yeah, Strong Mind's just okay, I think. Focused Sight. I use this one. This is good. Her middle ability is her best ability. It's super good, so the extra time is good. Deep Mind. Again, it's okay. I wouldn't mind using this more because usually when I use when I start a duel or anywhere in the duel, I usually always use Insight and Mind Trick together because you could use them together. So it's I wouldn't see how this one's like usable. This one's definitely usable. Now this one isn't that bad either. I mean, mind tricking them and then getting like a hook or something because an opponent is mind tricked, they're going to be holding that block. But at the same time, it's pretty easy to avoid. It's pretty easy to avoid getting hit if you're mind tricked. You just hold your block. So this is an So I would say these 4 cards are the ones I really use. Yoda, again, I don't have all his cards, so these 3 are the ones I use. I mean, this is a must in hero mods, literally. It's 4 heroes. Finn. I think Finn has a lot of good cards too. He's the only hero who doesn't have a card that's not about his ability. All of his cards are like on his abilities. I think every other, like Chewie, like he has these cards, but it's no ability. It gives him extra health, whatever. That's kind of cool. For HV, I usually use these 3. These 3 are pretty good, and then I'll swap them out. Which ones will I swap out? I would swap these 2 out for these 2 Deadeyes, because Deadeye's really good in Trooper modes. This Deadeye card is like okay, I think. And then this one's also kind of okay. I'm pretty good at hitting heads, so this one's good. But Yeah, it's not necessary. And then these two cards are kind of okay. I don't know. Finn is definitely the best support hero in the whole game. His support is insane. Alright, Phasma. I only use 3 cards. These 3 right here. I'm not a Phasma main whatsoever, so these are the ones that just work for me. This is a must in Troopers. I use this one in Troopers. And then this one's also pretty good in HV, but I usually use these ones. The Survivor card is good. Because honestly, when I play Phasma, I don't really use her droid. Like, if I place her droid somewhere, I always just forget about it. Because I just don't, that's just not my playstyle, to sit on a droid. I mean, and you could say like Bossk is like that, but Bossk really isn't like that. Because, you know, usually a boss doesn't really sit on his mines. A boss could still be really aggressive and have, you know, other ways of fighting. You could have a boss placing mines, let's say at the end of a hallway, and then pushing with his grenade launcher with smoke. It's like you could have an aggressive boss that just doesn't sit on his mines. I can't really say you could do that with Phasma because of how just like reliant she is on her droid. Because let's say you take away her droid, she has a melee strike that honestly should have just been her normal melee and not an ability. And then you have a health boost card. It's just, and her blaster is just a weaker E11 for Leia. It's just Captain Phasma's shit. If you main her, I don't know what to say. Grievous. Do I have all the cards? I do have all the cards. Grievous has a lot of good cards, except his unrelenting advance cards. Just because I think unrelenting advance is just easy hits on Grievous, but at the same time could be like situational. I would say these 2 cards are his only bad ones. Beating Heart. This is just good to have. I don't know. This one I usually don't take off. Sith Trains. This is like sometimes for me. Sometimes I'll put this on in Trooper modes. I'll never use it in HVV. But Trooper modes is like sometimes. It is really nice. You know, one-shotting troopers. So, just like Anakin, sometimes we'll put massive strikes on in Trooper modes. Jedi Killer. This one's not bad either. But again, I just don't use Thrush Shards. But again, I don't know that like trick where you could block break it, so maybe if I learned that I'd use these. Cowardly Retreat. The 90% damage reduction is so good. I always use this in HV in 1s. Actually, no, I use this only in 1s. HV, I think it's kind of okay. Just because you have other support teammates supporting you and helping you. Or, you know, you'd hope so. Sometimes that's not the case. This was really good in 1s, though, because it's surprisingly easy to hit Grievous when he's in his Claw Rush. It's especially a bad Grievous, you could just delete their health. So, and I wouldn't say I'm a bad Grievous, but if I come across a good player who knows how to do that, this card definitely helps a lot. Flesh is Weak has no introduction. This is the best card, one of the best cards of the game. It's insane. So, yeah, this is a must, pretty much. I always use this. Momentum, again, I just don't use Thrusters. Same with these 2 cards, I just don't use them. I don't know. And then Line Up Weaklings, this is good for doing, this is a must in Troopers and HV. I would also use it, so. Grievous is really good. What's next? Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is really good cards. These 2 cards right here are probably his best cards, and you get them literally level 2. His Jedi Resilience card is just broken. Plus Perfect Defense, this is just absurd. Obi-Wan has by far the best stamina in the game. He could take like 4 lightsaber heroes attacking him, and he could hold his block, and he could definitely like stay alive for a good while. It's so silly. give it all. I would say like swap this one out for this one, or actually no, this one. This is pretty good. This force push is definitely one of the strongest force pushes in the game. It's really good. Um, this is really good. I really like this card sometimes in ones. I'll use this one. Safeguard, this one's okay. I don't really use it. Quick and focus, I always use this one. Without this card, his force push is just really slow. So this is good. Forward, I use this one at troopers. I'll usually get rid of this one for this one, or swap it out. I don't know. This is really good for taking out a lot of enemies. Yeah, I don't really use this one. And then again, I don't really. I would say this is probably his most useless card, but I would say these four I definitely use a lot, and then these two aren't that bad either. So yeah, Obi-Wan is really good cards. Dooku. Alright, I would say all of Dooku's cards are good. All of them. Again, I would have all these maxed out. I just have to level them up more in co-op. Alright, Sith Control. Before I talk about them, I usually have a really hard time at like picking cards to use for him. I mean, especially now, but I just have to get them all maxed out to really like know which ones to use. But usually I use these three for ones. So this one's good, just maximum health regen. Finesse, draining less stamina when attacking and blocking. Really good, especially the 35 reduction in stamina drain. That's pretty good. This one's good too. I would say this is better in HPV than ones. It's like if you're doing a 1v2 or a 1v3 or whatever, or a 2v2. This is definitely better for that, but for ones, it's like not necessary because it's really easy to get a stagger, or for them to parry you, and then you just do the stun because they're right in front of you. You don't need the extra area, but it's still a really good card. Superiority. Superiority. This card is really good with which one is it? This one. So yeah, I have to level these up because I definitely want to use this combo with, I would say, these cards right here. Or no, I would say this is his like damage cards. Yeah, these are good. I definitely want to level those up. I want to level this one up and this one. But yeah, exposed weakness active on an enemy for a longer time. Exposed weakness also gets rid of any buffs enemies have, which is super good. This one's good too. It's just I don't know. I just don't really use it that much. It is really broken, but I think to myself like I don't know if I should be using this more or not, but I don't know. But definitely with his damage, I will be using it more. I will say these two cards right here are probably his weakest because I've never really had a big issue with recharge rates, except if it's Kylo. Kylo's the worst recharge rates, but I mean Dooku's is okay. Masterful Duelist is good. More damage when Duelist is active is so good because he has the fastest attack speed when he has this ability active. And he also has the most damage output when he has this ability active. Even without the card, I think he has the most damage. So, pretty good. And then again, this one, I really gotta level this one up. Dooku has really good cards. But then again, Dooku is like such... I mean, when you look at all of his cards, it's like... He's really just built for hero modes and not trooper modes, so kind of unfortunate. Anakin Skywalker. I would say Anakin also has really good cards. Tenacious, increased health is good. I use it sometimes. Massive Strikes, I'll only use this in Trooper mode sometimes. Pressure, I have been using this one more. I usually use this in only ones. Because his final hit in Massive Strike is a block breaker, so extra 25 is pretty good. Although it leaves you pretty open for like a choke or something. I usually would use Passion Strike like if they're really weak, or Grievous using his middle ability. Control the Force, really good card. Really good in HV and Troopers. I wouldn't really use it in ones, but HV Troopers really good. Steamroll. Steamroll's really good. Especially since Anakin kind of gets, you could definitely run out of stamina with him pretty easily. So this one's not bad. I don't use it that much, but it's not a bad card. I just don't use cooldown cards, so nope. Attraction. This is I always use attraction. I think, yeah. The extra range is great. Although for ones, I could see how it's not that necessary, but I think ones it's still really good. And then raw strength. This is a must in ones, I think. Ones is super good, and ones this card is super good. And then all of them, um, better in troopers, I'd say, but I still not really like it. So I would say, I'll say this top row of cards I always use, and then these two right here. It's really just these two cards right here I just don't use, but all these other cards I use. Anakin's super good. Like this combo right here for troopers is probably the best right here. And then sometimes I'll swap this one out, or I'll swap this one out for Massive Strikes. I don't know. Really good. That's all the heroes. I'm obviously not going to talk about the heroes. Okay, I guess these three. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I'll talk about the mods now. Alright, so I'm going to talk about all my mods. I'm going to kind of go over them briefly, but I will talk about them. I will have a link to all of them. All the ones that I, primarily use. But I'm sure if you could search just the names of them here, you'll find them pretty easily. So, I'm just gonna, go through them pretty fast. I have instant action. This is fun just for offline supremacy. Supremacy map. My Fennec mods, my Ahsoka mods. I have a lot of, lightsaber color overhauls. Really good mod. Duel of the Droids. I have a few Vaders. I have a lot of Luke Skywalkers. I have one from the comics, his Snowspeeder, his Bespin, his Return of the Jedi, 2 of his rescues. His Dark Empire one, I used to use this one a lot. I have his Sith Lightning one. I had so many comments about this one being like, are you playing Kyber servers? It's just a retexture pretty much. But it is kind of bugged because it kind of gives Obi-Wan the same sound effects, but without the sound. Or without the actual visual, so I don't really use it that much. Then I have Obi-Wan, Grievous. I haven't used the Shadow Sith one, where you guys haven't seen this one yet. It's a really cool one. I have a lot of Bossk ones, so I just have a regular Bossk 1313, then I have Cad Bane, then I have the Jango Fett one, which, I usually use the Jango Fett. Then I have Jango Fett Boba mods, but I usually just use regular Boba. I have a really cool Nexu Warpaint one. Then I have a lot of Anakin ones too. I just got a Claymaker's Emperor Vader one. This one's really cool. Haven't used it yet. A lot of lightsaber colors. His Attack of the Clones blue, then his Attack of the Clones green, then his Revenge of the Sith blue, and then he just has a regular red one. Which usually use the red one. Then I have a Anakin mod. I have a No More Young Lando mod. But I usually use like his 1313 Boba Fett Lando mod is probably the best mod I've seen. Then the Padme Lando I usually use sometimes. The Maul. Really like my Maul mods. The Cyborg Legs Mauls one of my favorite too. It's such a good one. Captain Rex sometimes I'll use over Chewie, and then Cody sometimes I'll use over Finn. But right now I'm using Mando over Finn. Shin Hati over Kylo. Then I have a Ventress over Kylo, and then I have a Revan over Kylo. A lot of Kylos. For Phasma, I have Captain Enoch or Thrawn. I swap them sometimes. I like Enoch usually just because he looks cooler and he has a cool intro theme. Dooku, I have Talon, and then I have his like hooded, and then I have a reformed, really cool mod. I like the reformed one with the yellow lightsaber. Palpatine, I have his Yoda duel from Revenge of the Sith, or I just have a red robe one. I use the red robe one right now, and then I have a 2003 Yoda, which just makes his robes like more brown. Really cool one. These are more for troopers, so like this one replaces the Resistance with more like cool looking New Republic troopers. Clones that replace the Resistance. Imperial Remnant, this replaces the First Order for just regular Stormtroopers. Same with this one, the Night Troopers from the Ahsoka show. Death Watch replaces First Order, and then these just kind of help it. Imperial Banners on Starkiller, I always use ones. Same with Death Star over Scarif, this one's really cool. Corvus for Takodana, same with this one. Mustafar, this is for Geonosis, this is a really good one, and then like a smaller one for Geonosis. Nighttime on Felucia. Felucia should have been nighttime because it's cool. This is Resistance to New Republic and the First Order to Imperial Remnant. It's just nice. And then this is Resistance to Republic if I want to use the Clone Troopers. Then these are like the 4 really lightsaber sounds I use. It makes lightsaber sounds like super good because in the base game they're just kind of shit. Clone Wars TV show Firefights, it just makes the blasters look like they're from the show, which is cool. No holograms, this is like the background of when you're choosing your characters in the game, or the score, like the first, second, third, the end screen, whatever. These loading screens are so cool. They're like from the original game. Out of Bounds Remover, this is just for arcade, because when I do my thumbnails, I usually pose on the map I played on in the HV game in an arcade map. So I like going kind of out of bounds in areas, because a lot of the arcade maps, say for like Geonosis, you only explore like a little bit, or you only have access to a little bit of the Geonosis map. So I like this one because I can go wherever I want. These are just for offline. I usually use this one for the instant action mod, and then the Geonosis arena. Again, I usually use this one to practice dueling. And then this Boba Fett Infinite Jetpack. Trust me, guys, I do not use this in public matches. I've been working on a little side project with my brother. We've been making Mos Eisley and Minecraft. So I only use this to fly around on the Mos Eisley map on offline mode, so I could look at the map and recreate it. Only reason why I use it. I'm not a cheater, guys. Trust me. And I have the proof. I have the world. So these are the mods I use. I'll swap out a few of them sometimes. I don't really have any crashes, so I will link all the ones that I use in the description if you want to use them. So that will be the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and if you have any questions about what sensitivities or settings I use or mods I use, please just look at this video. Do not ask me in the comments. Just look. It'll be there. I'll probably make an update. I don't know. 2 years later. I don't know. See you guys.